any sort of like movement in the market right now. I think it's going to be very, very interesting for you guys to hear everything that we have to say. Thank you so much for joining us. And now we are in Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. And yes, so we have a very interesting topic, which is the market update. What happened in the past that is affecting the present, and what's happening in the present that can affect or help the future. So we want you to have the right information before you make any decision, so you make an informed decision and you can perhaps save thousands of dollars maybe. And yes, thank you so much for joining us.
I love your introduction. Yes, the informed decision is what we provide, and that's what we're going to be giving tonight very intensely. Because for those who have not been following, like Carla and I, we follow the market every day, but many of you probably are. This is not of your main interest, so I just want to recap what has happened. So as you know, last year we had a very high inflation, and we kind of were finishing the year over 8% in inflation. So the Bank of Canada had to put some the brakes on the way we were spending. So how they do that, increasing the interest rate, among other things. But I'm not an economist, so I don't even want to go into details on that. But there have been many changes. So what happened during December, January, and February this year? Well, the prices for the first time and the market really slowed down, and the prices really went below what we were considering market value, market price, market values. And as I mentioned to Carla, I had many people during all these years telling me, Elisa, I'm going to wait because the market is going to go down. The market is going to go down. And nothing was happening year after year. And guess what? It happened. It happened now, but it was a very small window. So for all those investors who were ready, they really took advantage of that.
Yeah.
And who didn't, I mean, we're past that. I mean, the window was only 3-month window, and really for investors that was a great time to buy properties. They were sold under market price. And if Carla helps me to put I don't know if you have the graph or the table on screen, so we can see the historicals, what happened, and actually what has been the dynamic, the behavior on the market. Because probably you have a friend who had to buy or sell early in the year, and they may tell you one story, but believe me, during these 6-8 months, things have changed so much month after month. So really we cannot compare what has happening now in September to what happened in August, July, or March, right, last year.
Yeah. You know, when I was talking to one of my friends who is a financial planner, and he said something like, the problem that we have right in this moment is that nobody had lived an era like we have in this precise moment, where we had the pandemic, we have a war, we have like it's so many components that are affecting the interest rates, the cost of living, that is so hard to predict. So that's why every decision that you make is based on today's data. Like we definitely will help you to analyze what's coming in the future, but we cannot predict too much in the future. So yeah, no, definitely, I just wanted to point that out.
No, I appreciate that comment, because it is very important to consider that. Okay, so then after the tremendous punishment to the real estate market in December 2022 and January and February 2023, in reaction to the high level of inflation, and now I want to point out, every micro niche it's different. We are surrounded by many microeconomic points. But so that's why I'm just talking in overall and primarily in the GTA, where I actually do the real estate business. So that's the only one that I really can quote, because I know we have people probably from any other areas watching this. So, so what happened after that new year? In spring, we started a recovery. It was a very fast recovery. So you can see from the table that on Instagram you cannot see the table. So we can see the Bank of Canada has been increasing the interest rates just to mitigate the high inflation, which from 8.1, the Bank of Canada managed even to lower it to 3%. Well, not the Bank of Canada, the system was lowered into by the 3%. And I'm trying to read a mini table that I can barely read on our screen because people who are on Facebook and YouTube can see the table. I can barely read it. So in March and April, entering spring, the Bank of Canada didn't raise the interest rates. And what happened then? As soon as it was halted, the market recovered. And it was very active. The sellers came out, the buyers came out. We had again offer days. It was mixed, but we in different areas of the city, we also had bidding wars and such. And what happened later? The interest rates, the inflation increased a little bit. So again, in summer, we had another punishment. The Bank of Canada again increased the interest rates, and this September didn't happen. So it looks like it would be like the behavior of what the spring market followed, right? When the Bank of Canada say they were not increasing. But I was talking about this with Carla earlier, and she agrees with me that even though it appears to have the same behavior, it is not. And I don't believe the market will react fast and in the same way, because the people who were able to afford homes in March are not the same who are able to afford now in September because of that increase during summer. So it's not going to go back to the market.
And you know, Elisa, one of the things that I want to mention about that specific change that you mentioned when the Bank of Canada put a hold on the increase of rates back in March. Another interesting thing happened as well, and is that the bonds went down. So because the Bank of Canada was very, sure that it was going to be the last hike of the year, the interest rates in the bond side started to drop. So it actually dropped as much as 2.6%. That was a very significant drop. And rates were going for fixed rates, they were going around 4.49%, around there. Very, very, very rare, but it did happen. And I think that stimulate a lot the market and the first-time home buyers. A lot of first-time home buyers took advantage of this, like you mentioned. But yeah, I wanted to mention that because when we talk about interest rates, we tend to only focus on what's going on with the announcements of the Bank of Canada. And we have to keep in mind that there are also other factors that affect the fixed rates. And one thing that I can tell you is that if you are, in the game right now, or you're thinking about jumping in the game, just keep in mind that it will be good for you to start sooner by holding a rate. The banks typically hold a rate for 120 days. So literally just a little bit of shy of a 4-month period. And which means that if you book a rate today, you can wait to purchase a home all the way to winter. which is January. So you don't have to buy right now. You just are buying time, and if the rate.
I want to explain what Carla is saying about hold the rate, book it now. Those who don't know. So especially for those who are first-time home buyers, so when you are buying, you need to be pre-qualified, pre-approved later, right? And then when you tell your mortgage agent, okay, I'm ready to go out and start buying, your mortgage agent can find a rate for you and let's say freeze it for like 120 days. So it doesn't matter on the fixed rates. So it doesn't matter if the Bank of Canada comes with another announcement, generally speaking, that the older rate will be honored. Exactly. So now the next announcement will be for October 25th. And for where the things are going, that we are now again back to 4% inflation, I tend to think that probably they will come with a new increase. Who knows? I'm not sure, but it probably will. So if you do it now, if you were thinking of buying and you were trying to get ready, just contact Carla right away. And if you don't end up buying, if you change your mind, there's no pressure. Information is gold, but you will be prepared. What if something happens 120 days during this time? As you see from the table, the increases have been going on almost every month. And after October, there's another announcement for, I think, early December, 5th or 6th of December. Yeah, so why not just to do it? And Carla and we don't charge for this kind of information, this kind of preparation, this kind of planning.
Yeah, so it's just planning ahead, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. If I do believe, Elisa, that as you were mentioning earlier on in our other live, I love this comment, and we're just gonna bring it up because I think it's important for clients to know. But what Elisa was saying is that there are some people that are very motivated to sell. There are some people that are not too motivated to sell, so they don't like if you bring them a low ball type of offer, they might reject you because they are not on a rush. But there are some other ones that really need to sell their home. And what I'm trying to say here is that there might be opportunities for people who are right now in the market who are prepared, that can act fast and can go ahead and put an offer and stuff like that. I think it's a good time for you to be prepared for a good opportunity to come. And before I let you talk, I just want to say hi to Janessa. She sent us her regards. Thank you so much for always commenting. And yes, please, Elisa.
Yes, and people might be wondering, I don't understand, why is the advantage of that? The advantage of that is that you need a reference point. And this one is, before all this slowdown in the market, we used to sell property between 2 days and 7 days on the market in many, many niches in the GTA. So to us, that was a normal speed. And now properties are staying 30, 60 days. So we're on a balanced market right now. Why are we not yet on a buyer's market per se? Because the sellers are willing to hold. If they had to sell right away, that would be a different story. The prices would start plummeting, would be going down. But because we have a very different demographic mix here in this area in Ontario, we have so many immigrants coming with a purchasing power right now as a foreigners. No, but as we mentioned in another program, there are different kind of foreigners that don't apply as foreigners per se. These are coming to buy, plus the people who are selling, those who don't have to sell really are holding the properties. However, they're holding on the properties for a longer period of time because they want to get whatever the market dictates is the fair market price. However, because we don't have a bidding war out there, you as a buyer can come on as ahead to come and negotiate. It's not on the other way around. Before, when the seller had the last word, now you have the power of negotiating and having conditional offers, and hold it for 5 business days before you figure out what you need to do in terms of finances, home inspection, and other things when you decide to buy. So from that perspective, and Carla was mentioning there, thank you for mentioning that, you have that power. And if you happen to find something that like, yeah, there are less properties selling, we don't have enough inventory, we have a lot of buyers, they are holding, they are not lowering the price. And who are mostly selling? People, as she said, they have to sell. People who are divorcing, and they have a determination from the lawyer that they have to sell by that time, or and split the proceeds, for example. That's something that has to happen. People who have accepted a job in Vancouver, right? So they are getting rid of their property here in Toronto. They don't have a choice. They might wait because it's not urgent, because probably their company is holding their rental for 3-4 months in Vancouver while they sell. But again, people that are selling now have to sell. And Carla asked me something really interesting. She asked me, and how are the showings going?
How are the showings going? Yeah, no, I find that when there is a lot of showings, that means that um, more buyers are motivated to make a move. Is the way I see it. The more houses are seeing, the more interest are in the market. I mean, let's be honest. There is the supply and demand, right? And the supply of houses is not the largest in Ontario specifically, and in some other areas in Canada in general. And there is a lot of buyers. There's still a lot of interested buyers to make a move. And yes, just mention what you were saying about this topic, because I think what Elisa had to say was tremendously valuable uh, when you want to, make a move.
Yeah, you don't have fluff now. Right, basically it's just people are used to receiving so many showings, like 15 showings a day, and after 7 days receiving 20-30 offers. And but really, how many of those showings before were real people really being interested in your property? Probably they want to see that property on the block, but there are 3 more houses on sale, so let's just take a look because we're in the area. But now they're not. Those houses are not there because we have low inventory, right? So really now people who are really buying are going out to look. So don't panic if you don't have that many showings.
Okay.
And don't panic if you don't have that many offers on the plate. You don't need 5 offers, you need 1.
That's true.
And most of the time, in my experience, when we had these hot bidding wars, like mentioned to Carl, I once had in a condo 42 offers. Really, most of them were fluff. They were not even meeting the criteria. They were not submitting the checks. So really, at the end of the day, we would end up working with the 3 or 4 that looked really serious offers. And the same thing will happen now. Now, yes, we don't have offer days now. If you would like to put that red Toronto slide on, I would like to mention now that I'm talking about supply and demand. So as you can see there, the number of sales compared this August to August 2022 had almost no movement. Can you see there? 0.5%. Almost no movement at all. And you see, last year we sold 1891 homes, and now 1892. It's almost the same number of homes, but the population has been growing. really fast with immigration, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's the reason, and
And
that's
that's
the
not going to
key.
stop. Keep in mind that.
So if you're a homeowner, don't panic. That's the key. We have a very interesting mix in these areas, where I live, right, in the GTA, because with all this immigration, even though there's no many homes for sale, even though the market has slowed down, the demand is and always will be there at some point. There's always demand. People need to live somewhere. People come with purchasing power, right, to this country. So yeah, that's what it is. And another thing you brought up in our other live, Carla, that I liked, what you mentioned, that what would be the advantages and disadvantages to buy now that the interests are higher, but the prices are stable. As you can see from the table, those who are not in Instagram, the average sale price also from last year August to this year August only had a 2.5 change, and to the low. So also it is not a tremendous change in a year. We're not used to this kind of changes in Toronto and to the low, because it was minus 0.52%, right? So you need to evaluate exactly, because if you're buying now,
Yeah.
it is as if you were buying with the prices from last year. How sweet
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely, definitely. The market in the last few years, it's been growing over and over and over and over and over, and I think it's a tremendous time for first time home buyers to either jump in the market with a good strategy, or two, if you're not ready to jump in the market, to prepare yourself to jump in the market. So how, Carla, how do I do that? Contact us. Contact us, because there is always a strategy that we can use in order for you to get to the finish line faster. So there is always a
Yeah.
strategy that we can do to expedite the process. And one of the things that I have experienced a lot in the past 12 years that I've been in the market is that the people who have prepared themselves to jump in the market are the ones that are more successful to one, get a better property, two, to get a better rate and save thousands of dollars, and three, I think, are just in general the ones that have an experience that is not as stressful as for when you are not 100% prepared. So definitely there is advantages. So contact us. The first step is to see how are your finances, how is your financial profile, and see if what changes we need to make in order for you to do this move. We look at everything. We look at the credit. We look at, your down payment. We look at your income. We look at very minuscule details that make a difference in the long run, when you are actually in the process of the offer.
Yes, and I also want to add, thank you, Carla, for that. It's important if you're an investor, what's
Yeah.
happening now, and we mentioned that if you're an investor, I think it's a prime year to do it. Well, the top window was December, January, and February, but however, it's still very good, because as you know, even though people who are listening to us and are renting, like rents are prime high, like prime rents right
Oh
now.
my goodness.
So a year and a half ago, a one-bedroom condo that was renting for maybe $1,900, now it's $2,600. So yeah, definitely. So even though you're gonna be paying more interest, this is a business for you. It's an expense for you, and at the end of the year, your accountant will take care of that as an expenses, plus what you are receiving from your tenant. And well, to me, it's a no-brainer right now, if you are ready to purchase as an investor. Now, again, don't don't take for granted what I'm telling you, because we have to run your numbers and you will make your last decision, right? I have a beautiful Excel spreadsheet where I show investors, what is the return of investment, what we can do for them. And I truly believe it. I had people who say, no, you know what, because of the kind of interest rates and because it's not appraising that fast right now, this is what you're going to be like, even with some investment in the stock market. But I am a real estate person. And in the stock market, anyways, you don't have the appreciation. I would never tell anyone to buy real estate to sell in a year or two. Real estate is for a long-term investment. You have to hold for 5-10 years. And believe me, Canada has been pandemic-proof, inflation-proof, and we're still holding the prices higher than in many other places. I mean, in the US, even though I don't want to compare the countries because we live in a very different economies.
It is.
However, have you driven through downtown Toronto? I mean, even though we are where we are, and I know there have been some issues with developers halting their developments right now, and also because there are some political issues there in terms of the fees they have to pay, etc. However, this is just a spot in the timeline where we live in. So in 10 years, if you look back, you will see why this area has been and will always be the favorite for international real estate developers to come here and invest in their developments, because we have a very conservative economy, and I trust, regardless of who we have on the big seat out there in the government, if we say 2% by spring 2025, I do believe it's going to happen. It's very strategically what we're doing now, and I don't want to get too political. Many people may say what I'm saying probably it's not accurate, but I only can say it for what I live in the industry of real estate. I don't know what's happening in other industries. I'm not in any others. It is true the food is the most affected, right? It even reached 11% inflation, but the average it's 4% right now, right? And the gas is even 6.9%. Well, I'm talking about real estate. That's the only thing I can have a reference to. And our services are contact us. They're complimentary. We can run you the numbers. If you're not ready now, make your mind whenever you are. And if you get ready, like those investors who were ready for December and January, if you get ready now, you probably will find a great jewel somewhere hidden somewhere where you would say, oh gee, if I was prepared last month, I would have gotten that property. Because now is the time for the buyers, and now you can take your time to find exactly what you're looking for. No kidding. Before it wasn't. Before I was running with my buyers looking for properties for 2 days like crazy and put an offer and you're done. And now you can take your time, you can make your analysis,
you can protect yourself as well with like the inspection clause or the financing clause,
absolutely,
the status certificate clause. Like is a lot easier right now, I find, to find what the client actually wants to buy. Because remember in the pandemic, Elisa, like sometimes I find that people were just buying whatever was available to them, and
without seeing the property.
Sometimes
because we couldn't be in front of each other. That was also very risky, but people would go to that length to buy a property without even seeing it.
Yeah, no, and right now I think there is gonna be a lot less buyer remorse to put it a name, because they are going to be like, okay, this property is the one that I really want because it meets all my criteria. Before it was just like, oh, I have to compromise and not have something that it was very important to me because the market was just going bananas. But now it's a little bit more
Yeah.
easy on buyers. You, as I mentioned, just prepare yourself. It doesn't matter what is the market going like, if it's going faster, if it's going a little bit slower. The key part is for you to plan ahead and make sure that, we're all prepared to take.
Yeah, and do, like, really do prepare yourself if you're planning or to step into the market, because the next announcement is due on October 25th, which is just around the corner.
Yes.
So you have these weeks to really get ready if you're planning to do it, so Carla can hold those rates for you.
Yeah, there's two more announcements this year, which is October 25th and December 6th. So put that in your calendars, because these are going to be very, very strategic increases that, can mean a lot of things for the first-time home buyers. Just make sure that you have a rate on hold for 120 days, meaning that if the rates go up, it doesn't matter. You have your rate on hold for 120 days. It's very, very important. So just contact me. I'm gonna leave all my information so you can have it.
Let's run the numbers, for the phone numbers on Facebook and LinkedIn, and I will give your information, Carla, on Instagram, 647-456-6864, to call Carla, please, or myself at 416-939-4497. And we are here to help you. Reach out to us, and you are just putting the calendar right there in our comments. If you didn't catch this program from the start, it is automatically saved, all these lives, in our YouTube channels, in our Facebook pages, and it's also on LinkedIn. Will be also saved on Instagram, so you have access to that. And if you know somebody is interested or looking to purchase anything this month before the year ends, share that link of the saved live with your friends or family members who are interested. And and now I really will like to rush, because I see my phone is telling me I have 4% battery, and I don't want to lose this. I want to save this program. So I'm looking here. So, but thank you, Carla. I always love your insights, your comments. Very, 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 very good and profound. So I'll see you next Tuesday. I don't know yet what topic we're gonna be talking about, but you learn what it is. And if you would like us to cover any topic in specific, please reach out to us, send us a message, and we will make sure it's covered.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Elisa. I really appreciate it. Have a really nice day. Thank you. Bye.